Hello everyone, I'm Casey and welcome to my garage. I am a hobbyist mechanic. I would call myself a vehicle enthusiast. I enjoy fixing things. I can fix about anything. I'm not brand specific. I work on lots of things, and I finally want to start creating some content to kind of go through some of my projects that I'm doing that I think are cool, that I think you all will relate to, and I think that you all will think are fun. With that, I'm going to introduce my first project. This is a C30. It's a 1966 Chevy pickup truck. I bought it as a C30. Everything the previous owner had touched on it was absolutely wrong. I'll go through some of that here later. And I decided when I cut everything off, all I was left with was a frame. So then I decided to cut the frame down because short beds are cooler than long beds. So I cut 20 inches out of the frame. I'll show you where I did that. I've also swapped the front end on it. I've got a C-notch on it, so that's kind of where we're at right now, and we're just kind of starting the slow rebuild phase. With that, I'm excited to get into this project and show you some things I'm doing and some of the things that I plan to do. All right, so project shor10, where we're at as of today. So again, I mentioned that I bought this and everything that the previous owner did was wrong, and so I've corrected a fair amount of things so far. One of them was they converted to the modern style steering, as you can see, but they mounted it in the wrong location, and they'd also mounted the steering box without using one of these conversion brackets. I'd bought this conversion bracket, you can see it back there. He actually only had one bolt holding it together, so the vehicle actually wouldn't turn. Another thing that I did that I think is cool on this vehicle is I bought this cross member. This cross member is a complete dropout from an 87 Suburban. You only have to drill 2 holes on each side to add it, and this gets you disc brakes. And I am planning to completely rebuild the front end after I clean it up, but it's just kind of mocked up now. And the other thing it adds is a sway bar. So the 66 truck, it should drive like a lot more modern of a vehicle. I'm probably going to swap these spindles out for a 3.5-inch drop spindle just to get this thing a little bit lower. As you can see, I've got the cab kind of all the way stripped down, still very messy. The previous owner, he liked to use duct tape and sheet metal screws, so I'll have lots of repair work in here. As you can see, there's kind of some rust areas where I had the trans pan. Some of the frame under there, you can see we've already taken out and got pour 15 on the bottom. I'm going to pour 15 and dynamat the entire cab. This was the previous owner's idea of seat mounts. As you can see, his skills are a little bit different than I thought. Where I'm at here in the rear, again, I cut 12 inches out of the center underneath the cab, and I cut 8 inches out of the back, and when you do that, it makes it the same as a factory short bed. You can see my welded in C-notches here. I'm not the best welder, so don't judge, but I get it done. The next thing I'm going to do is I actually cut out the cross member, and I'm putting in this one I got here. I actually got a good deal on it through Jags, and I'm using it just as a frame stiffener, not because I removed the tubular control arms under here, and I'm going to build a 4-link. And I like this because I could run the exhaust through it. The next thing is we'll talk about the engine. I'll talk more about my engine. It's a roller cam, hydraulic roller cam 355 that I'm about halfway through building. It's got an Eagle rotating kit on it, and I have a 292 turbo heads. I'll tell you why I think those heads are cool eventually. So that is where we're at, and that's a good starting point for this project. I'm excited to get into some work.